This is the QTV Nightly News coming to you live from our studios on Karaba Avenue, and I am Joel Denjai. Thank you for joining us. Here are the main news headlines. Today, Tuesday, President Barrow, who doubles as the Commander-in-Chief of the Gambia Armed Forces, decorated 10 newly promoted military officers to various ranks. Also, President Barrow received at his office on Tuesday a delegation from the African Regional Intellectual Property Organization, AFRIPIO, led by its Director General. At a post-summit briefing on Tuesday, senior government and OIC Gambia Secretariat officials described the recently concluded Banjul-hosted 15th OIC summit as a massive success. In international news, Chad is on the path to becoming the first of Africa's current junta-led states to move to democratic rule following Monday's presidential election. In sports news, the West Africa Football Union Zone A, WAFU-A, organized a week-long training course for female referees in the Gambia. Those were your headlines, and now the news in detail. Thank you very much for staying with us. If you are just tuning in, this is QTV News with me, Joel Denjai, and now let's look at the stories. Today, Tuesday, President Barrow, who doubles as the Commander-in-Chief of the Gambia Armed Forces, decorated 10 newly promoted military officers to rank of Colonel, including Colonel Abdullah Mboub, the commanding officer of the State Guards Battalion, and Colonel Omar B. Bojang, the Deputy National Secretary Security Advisor. Aliou Cisse was there, and this is his report.
The decoration of these 10 senior career military officers, 2 of whom are currently away on international duty, follows their promotion from the rank of Lieutenant Colonel to Colonel. The military high command says their promotions are a reward for their hard work, professionalism, discipline, and loyalty to the country. The decorated officers took the oath of office, trust, secrecy, and allegiance to the Commander-in-Chief, to the state, and to the people of the Gambia, administered by Rohibite Dabo, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Defense. Assisted by the Chief of Defense Staff, Mohamed Ocham, his deputy Usman Gomez, and Defense Minister Sering Modunjai, President Barrow decorated the officers with their new ranks. President Barrow, the Commander-in-Chief of the Gambia Armed Forces, congratulated the promoted officers and reminded them of the challenges that come with their new rank. He used the occasion to thank the strategic partners for the ongoing reforms by his government.
We will continue to provide the needed support to GAF to build its capacity, strengthen its logistical capabilities, and improve the general welfare of its troops. As evidence of our commitment, my government has trained over 1,000 Gambian youths, all of whom are in active service.
Lieutenant General Mohamed Ocham, Chief of Defense Staff of the Gambia Armed Forces, and Ambassador Sering Modunjai, the Minister of Defense respectively, say promotion in the Army is competitive and goes through strict scrutiny by a competent board. They hope the promotion will inspire these officers and others to do more.
Upon receipt of executive approval, I constituted a board in line with established administrative procedures to nominate officers eligible for promotion to the rank of colonel. I must reiterate that the board was given very specific terms of reference, and this procedure was in line with the security sector reforms and transformation of the armed forces since the beginning of your administration.
Let me remind the newly promoted senior officers that to whom much is given, much more shall be expected. This country expects nothing less than higher level of loyalty, courage, and professional competence needed to preserve peace and security and to defend our hard-earned democracy.
Colonel Dr. Musaka, the Director of Medical Services of the Gambia Armed Forces, on behalf of his fellow promoted officers, thanked President Barrow for approving their nominations for promotion and promised their continued unwavering determination to serve the Army with absolute loyalty to the Commander-in-Chief, the state, and the people of the Gambia.
It is worth to remember that our promotion is the first batch of colonels since the inception of the security sector reforms in 2017. Therefore, a lot is expected from us to steer the reform process and meaningfully contribute to the transformation agenda of the Armed Forces Command.
This decoration, which was also attended by Vice President Mohamed B.S. Jallow and the National Security Advisor Abubakar Jang, comes amidst a series of promotions and decoration of soldiers to various ranks. It is hoped that in their daily military work, the promoted officers will live up to the oaths taken. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cisse.
Congratulations to the newly promoted military officers. And President Barrow received at his office on Tuesday a delegation from the African Regional Intellectual Property Organization, AFRIPIO, led by its Director General. Their discussion centered on how to consolidate the relationship between the Gambia and the organization. Aliou Cisse again.
Speaking to the media after a closed-door meeting with President Barrow, Bemanya Tuebaze, the Director General of AFRIPIO, said the focus of AFRIPIO is aligned with the Gambia's national development aspirations to foster innovation and creativity for the prosperity of the people.
We are talking about how we can use intellectual property to foster innovation and creativity for the prosperity of mankind. How do we help the youth, for example, in the creative sector, to use their talents to create jobs, to create wealth, to transform people's lives? He also shared with us his vision on capacity building, and which is also aligned to what AFRIPIO does. Especially we build capacity, and we are able to share with His Excellency the President that 11 Gambians have been trained by African Regional Intellectual Property Organization and attained Masters of Intellectual Property. And the beauty about it is that all these 11 people are working to develop the Gambia in very important ways.
He hailed the Gambia's support to the organization as great and says he is looking forward to a stronger cooperation in the future.
The support of the Gambia, like I said, has been right there from the beginning. It continues. I would like to really say that the Honorable Attorney General and the Registrar General have been very supportive of the Gambia. Gambia can support AFRIPIO, for example, by ratifying some of the protocols that have not yet been ratified. There are a number of protocols that we have, and the Gambia, our engagement with the President, we've got assurance that this will be done. But also we know that under the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, there are discussions that are coming. This is an amazing opportunity for Africa. And as AFRIPIO, we support the African Continental Free Trade Area.
The African Regional Intellectual Property Organization was established in 1976 to ensure the promotion, development, and harmonization of intellectual property laws in Africa. The Gambia was among the first member countries of the organization. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cisse.
Now, senior government and OIC Gambia Secretariat officials Tuesday described the recently concluded Banjul-hosted 15th OIC Summit as a massive success. At the post-summit briefing, the Ministers of Foreign Affairs and Information and the CEO of the OIC Gambia Secretariat expressed optimism about the Gambia's future.
Their remarks come in the wake of the country's successful hosting of the 15th OIC Heads of State and Government Summit, which saw President Barrow assume chairmanship of the 57-member country organization. On the successes of the summit, ongoing OIC projects and plans, they expressed gratitude to the Gambian people for their show of support during the summit. Ambassador Yankuba Diba and Dr. Ismaila Cisse, Minister of Information, congratulate President Barrow on assuming the OIC chairmanship, which further solidifies the country's position as an important player on the global stage. They expressed optimism that President Barrow will deliver as expected. They also shared with the media the outcomes of the summit, which they describe as success stories that every Gambian should be proud of.
We've had a very, very successful summit by all counts, both logistical, management, in terms of also because summits are evaluated not by the beauty of the roads and so on and so forth. It's by the quality of declarations, quality of communiques that arise from the summit. And I'm here to tell you that we've come up with the best outcomes that any summit can expect.
Rohingyas was tantamount to genocide, and we won. That's a huge, huge achievement for the Gambia. Issues like climate change, science and technology, women, children, and family issues. These are broad-based issues that the OIC has to contend with under the leadership of His Excellency Adama Barrow as chair of the OIC. And we are confident that he has the vision and he has the capability and the leadership qualities to lead the OIC to be dealing with all these issues.
Among many issues highlighted during the press engagement was the resolutions and final communique of the Banjul Summit, which underscores the organization's stance against significant issues of global interest, such as the ongoing conflict in Gaza. Gambia's Foreign Affairs Minister, Dr. Mamadou Tangara, said the country's foreign policy, particularly on relations with Israel, hinges on diplomatic neutrality, adding that the Gambia remains determined to pursue peace and development around the world through dialogue.
We do not intend to cut off our ties with Israel. Our philosophy is friends with all and enemy with none. And Gambia's diplomacy is anchored on non-alignment, neutrality, and the promotion of dialogue. How can you have dialogue with someone when you decide to push him aside? Then you will not have any opportunity to sit with him. And the president, as he's mentioned it, he said now he's the bus driver. I would say he's the captain of the boat. So it's incumbent on all the passengers to make sure that we don't rock the boat so that we can reach our destination safely. And to reach that destination, being the objective that we assign for ourselves to bring a peaceful world, we can do it only through dialogue.
For example, in terms of the resource mobilization, we managed to raise well over $350 million US, which were plowed back into very significant socio-economic development projects, starting with roads, the airport, this conference center, and a host of other sectors.
The Gambia is now expected to lead OIC's global efforts for the realization of its Banjul Summit resolutions, which includes the protection of Muslim minorities, particularly a permanent ceasefire in Gaza and the attainment of nationhood for Palestine. And Sumana Senyasi for KTV News.
Congratulations there to President Adama Barrow and his government for hosting a successful summit. That report there by Ansumane Sonyasi will take us to a commercial break. When we return, we have local, international and sports news stories for you. Do stay tuned.
Green Power was founded in 2001 and is headquartered in Swindon, UK. It is mainly engaged in project investment and operation of fields of photovoltaic power generation, wind power, hydropower, and other clean energy, as well as hydrogen energy, energy storage, comprehensive energy, and other fields, contributing more than $50 billion to energy infrastructure. Its business scope covers RCEP countries in Europe, the Middle East, Africa, Australia, and Asia. A new chapter is opening, driven by the power of technological change, and we aspire to bring this change to the people of the Gambia, ushering a new era of vitality and sustainability. Green Power sincerely invites sales management leads to join our company and create a new life together.
Money, your ultimate mobile money partner. Cash in now and get credit bonus up to $250. Yes, $250. Need to cash out? Dial *323#, enter your secret PIN and get your one-time password. Give it to any Q Money agent and you are done. Send money to your loved ones with a few taps. Dial *323#, enter the amount and confirm. It's that easy. Top up your cash power on the go. Dial *323#. Register your meter number and receive your token via SMS. Money. This is your calpe way to manage your money.
Welcome back. If you are just tuning in, this is QTV News with me, Jules Denjai, and now to the rest of our stories. The Minister of Tourism and Culture, Abdoulaye Diop, on Monday presided over the first West Africa Ecotourism Network Summit in Banjul. Lolly M. Camara attended the event, and this is her report.
The two-day hybrid summit brought together stakeholders committed to the development of ecotourism in the region. The West Africa Ecotourism Network, WAN, a not-for-profit organization, aims to promote sustainable tourism practices in West Africa. Launched in 2022, the network also provides training and resources for those in the tourism industry to help them implement sustainable practices in their operations. Ola Wright is the president and founder of West Africa Tourism Organization.
Today, we come together to celebrate those who are leading the way in sustainable travel and ecotourism initiatives. We applaud the efforts of individuals, organizations, and businesses that prioritize environment conservation, community engagements, and cultural preservation in their endeavors. Together, we can inspire others to embrace a more sustainable approach to travel and to experience the world in a way that leaves a positive impact on both people and planet.
WAN works to raise awareness about the importance of responsible tourism and to support local communities and conservation efforts through ecotourism. The Minister of Tourism and Culture, Abdoulaye Diop, recognized the need for and importance of the summit, urging participants to give their best for the betterment of all.
This West African Ecotourism Network Summit is very apt, timely, and the lofty objectives unite neatly with our policy objectives to develop ecotourism and decongest over-reliance on package or beach-based tourism. Ecotourism has the potential, if properly planned and executed, to meet our development aspiration through tourism and at the same time enable our communities reap the benefit of tourism, given that according to the UN tourism, developing nations such as the Gambia already have their product, nature, culture, tradition, and all that is required to profit is a bit of investment in infrastructure and internet marketing. Therefore, the outcome and conclusions of this very important convergence on ecotourism will further enrich our understanding of this emerging and promising niche as we continue to draft innovative means of diversifying our product mix and make our destination more exciting.
Discussions at the summit were centered around the annual WAN update of activities undertaken since the launch in November 2022. The introduction to West Africa Tourism Organization's new tool, Explore West Africa, and the launch of the environmental management system, plus training and masterclasses from World Bank tourism experts on responsible tourism market intelligence and circular economy, amongst other activities. For QTV News, Lolly M. Camara.
That report there by Lolly M. Camara takes us to news beyond our borders. Welcome back. Chad is on the path to becoming the first of Africa's current junta-led states to move to democratic rule following Monday's presidential election. However, as QTV's Jenaba Sonko reports, the poll is not without controversy.
The election will end a 3-year transition imposed after the sudden death of long-serving leader Idris Deby, killed on the front line while fighting rebels. Deby, who ruled with an iron fist for nearly 30 years, succumbed to wounds suffered during a visit to the battlefield where Chadian soldiers fought a rebel group that had crossed into Sudan and Chad from Libya. Upon his father's death, Mohamed Deby seized power in a military coup in 28 April 2021. As he cast his vote in the capital N'Djamena, President Deby said he was proud to have fulfilled his promise to respect the deadline for elections that will signal a return to constitutional order. Deby is most likely to win, although there is skepticism about whether this will bring about change. A voter told BBC, and I quote, "We don't have free and credible elections in Chad because we can't imagine that an electoral code would prevent representatives of political parties from having the result tally. It doesn't make sense. If there's a crisis tomorrow, I wouldn't be surprised," he told the BBC. In addition, some opposition politicians were denied ahead of the vote. Deby, meanwhile, has campaigned unhindered and drawn large crowds across the country. Prime Minister Suksay Masra, who also drew large crowds to his rallies, is among Deby's 9 challengers and is seen as his biggest rival. The voting has been mostly peaceful. However, there are reports that a 65-year-old man was shot dead after voting in the southern city of Mundu, according to officials quoted by the AFP news agency. Chad is one of the poorest countries in the world, with at least 40% of the 17 million population living below the poverty line. The war in neighboring Sudan has also pushed more than 500,000 people into Chad, adding further pressure even as fears of a spillover conflict shimmer. Reporting for QTV News, I am Jenna Basonko.
We wish the people of Chad all the best during this crucial moment. Now the report there takes us to sports news. The West Africa Football Union Zone A, WAFU A, organized a week-long training course for female referees to increase capacity for the development of the game in the Gambia. Our sports reporter Momodu Gajaga was there, and this is his report.
18 women referees from 9 member associations are undergoing a week-long refereeing training course to increase capacity of match officials to advance the development of the game in the region. The training involves both theory and practical exercises on the laws of the game and its interpretation. Lamin Kababajo is the president of WAFU A and of the Gambia Football Federation.
You could have had so many other activities. It could be competition, it could be training in many other areas, but starting it with referees couldn't have been more appropriate. I have personal passion for refereeing, and I have so much of belief and respect for refereeing. Members of the refereeing family in Gambia will always recall, I will always say, there is no football or soccer without refereeing.
Strengthening the capacities of referees is seen as a key pillar in the development of football across Africa. Fatou Gueye, a member of CAF and WAFU A refereeing committee, says it is time to build the capacities of referees in the region,
whose aim is to strengthen the capacity of women referees in the zone for better representativity in the elite refereeing of CAF and FIFA.
One of the beneficiaries in the training is Aissatou Toure, a FIFA referee who officiates matches in both the male and female leagues in the Gambia. She says she has high expectations of the training.
We are here to learn things that are, the laws of the game is being amended. And here we are not lucky to have international instructors, but here we have Due, the director of referee competition department in CAF, and we have Fatou Gueye also from CAF. So we are hoping to get more things in them.
Normandes Desiree Due, CAF head of refereeing and football technology, advises the referees.
Dear referees, you are given a very big opportunity, not just to learn, but also to show your qualities. And you are lucky because you will spend 1 week with the head of refereeing of CAF. So you will not find a better person to see and to take note of what you are able to do. So you have to grab this opportunity. It's not coming every day.
Some of the most contentious decisions in football are taken by referees. Technology like the video assistant referee, or VAR, was introduced to help ease match-changing decisions. As demonstrated in this video, the offside rule is being looked at. Even the introduction of VAR and other technology, officiating football matches is not an exact science. However, to keep up with the changing times and trends of the modern game, training of this sort is crucial. Mamadou Gajaga, QTV News.
I'm afraid that's all we got time for, but before we wrap up this bulletin, here is a recap of the headlines. Today, Tuesday, President Barrow, who doubles as the Commander-in-Chief of the Gambia Armed Forces, decorated 10 newly promoted military officers to various ranks. Also, President Barrow received at his office on Tuesday a delegation from the African Regional Intellectual Property Organization, AFRIPIO, led by its Director General. At the post-summit briefing on Tuesday, senior government and OIC Gambia Secretariat officials described the recently concluded Banjul-hosted 15th OIC summit as a massive success. In international news, Chad is on the path to becoming the first of Africa's current junta-led states to move to democratic rule following Monday's presidential election. In sports news, the West Africa Football Union Zone A, WAFU A, organized a week-long training course for female referees in the Gambia. That's all we have for you in this edition of the News Bulletin. Do join us again at 10 p.m. for another News Bulletin. Many thanks indeed for the pleasure of your company. Do have a lovely evening. Bye-bye.